Well, this is the roof line. First thing is I'm not going to be string lining this. The timbers are in the way. But actually, looking at this, I should be able to just run it in line with this roof. There are some big lips on this cladding, so I don't quite know what it's going to look like when it folds around, but we'll do what we can and hopefully stop these birds getting in. What I think I'm going to do, I'm going to fit this so I don't want this to be bent. I just want them slightly touching or not quite. So I'll measure down from the roof and put a mark on this bottom line here. And if I do that in a couple of places all the way across, when I offer this up, I should be able to just simply offer it up against the pencil mark, which will be on here, and that'll keep it nice and level. I'm going to try and keep away from this edge because, like I said, I don't want this splitting. That's why I'm doing pilot holes as well. So try and keep away from the edge if you can, because that's like the weakest part of the plank, really. But yeah, I'll get this with I'll get a decent distance on this, and we'll see how we go. I think that's a pretty good place to put it. These are a little bit bent. I might bring it down a little bit actually. Let's bring that to there. And then obviously once this is straight, pulled in, it's just kind of touching, and it should be just enough to stop the little whatnots getting in. So I'll put a mark there, and then we'll measure that one. It's going to be about 45 mil. 45 mil, or say 1 3/4. Yeah, I'll do that along in a couple of places, and then we'll drill it, get it fixed up. So now we've got a half sensible line across there. Should be able to just stick this up, line it up with the pencil marks. There they are, there you go. Line it up with the pencil marks, pilot, drill it, screw it, and move on to the next one. I know this makes riveting viewing, but every little helps, isn't it, I suppose? Exciting when the ladder moves up here, and this will help. I'm a bit of a stretch. This will help me hold it in place while I do the rest of it. You can't see this bit, but I'm basically sticking a screw in a hole. It's nothing you haven't done before. Right, now, if the plan works, it should be line that up there. Hole there. I'm not going to get on in there. I'm going up. And then I'll put this one in and check that measurement again, just in case it's gone bandy. That looks alright. That looks alright. Seems a bit higher, but I think we can work with that. I'll show you this bit, and then I'll do some stop motion for the rest of it, because it's a bit monotonous. It kind of rinse and repeat. Once you've got your pencil marks in, it's fairly straight up forward. I'll cut this bit, I'll show you that. You never know, you might have absolutely nothing to do today. Watch me. A bit of plastic, but let's go. If anyone is watching this, stick a comment in the comment section. Let me know you're out there. So this is what we're aiming for. It's kind of level. I couldn't get a screw in there, but this isn't being watertight. It's just stopping birds from getting through. They're not going to get through that bit, so I'm okay with that. I will put one in here, but this is the bark. But the actual larch comes down diagonally, so if I go up like that, I should be getting into the bit of it. I know I'm a bit near the edge, but yeah, I'll cut a piece in there. No, bit of a rethink. Scrap that idea. What I'm going to do, rather than put a little bit in here, because there's nothing really to screw it into and we're going too far into this edge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this bit here somewhere and put a whole new section in there, because we'll be able to use this somewhere else, and then that way at least we're into some decent material here and some decent stuff there, and it shouldn't go anywhere. Hopefully I can get this some sort of straight. Let's see how easy this stuff is to cut. Right, this is normally a two-handed job, but I am a trained professional. Obviously not a professional cameraman, but I might have to mark the back of this. Oh, there we go. Well, it cuts really easy. So I'll put that screw back in there and then get a bit to put in there. Right, so I cut that bit about there, and that's made out of 2 pieces. I think it works better because I haven't had to go anywhere near this bark, basically. It's not very particularly secure, but I think that looks all right, and it should do exactly what I want it to do. Just keep them out. So I've got the rest of this to do now. I'll try and rig up the camera and time lapse it. See what that looks like.
The ones that we love always hurt us the most. I feel my worst whenever I'm alone. The next thing to that doesn't even come.
Right, I gave up with the tape measure. There's nothing to put it down where there's a gap, like the rib, whatever you want to call it, in this tin. So I found a bit of timber that's just under what we need. It's about 43mm. But by the time I've limbed the pedestal against it, it brings it down from the bottom anyway. It's going to be a lot easier just to sort of pop that across, draw it around rather than keep measuring every single line. But that's the progress so far. It's not a beauty thing, it's a keep the buggers out thing. Yeah, the little block of wood's much quicker. I'm trying to get all the gaps filled, because sneaky buggers. But that's how we are so far. Let's start the other side.
That's what I get for letting someone in. They took advantage and now I'm suffering. I did not expect this from someone I trust. It's always the ones that you love. You can never hurt me if I build up these walls. That's gonna be the last time that I come up short. So why do I get lonely if I build them up too tall? I guess being on your own, like a double-edged sword. The ones that we love always hurt us the most. I feel my worst whenever I'm alone. The next thing to that does not even come close.
Right, so far, I think it's looking all right. It looks like it's going to do the job anyway. I'll figure out what to do up there now. In the middle. Make 2 bits and cross them over perhaps. Because I've got to get this guttering off. so I can screw that stuff in behind it, because I don't think I'm going to be able to sneak in over the top. And obviously now I'm playing with guttering, it's decided to rain. Well, let's see what happens. Right, we're in luck. I think I can do this without taking this guttering off, because we're at the low end where the down pipe is. Obviously there's a bit more gap between the top of the gutter and the bottom of the roof, and I've got to get this in here and get it pushed up. So I've no idea if this is coming out. So basically the combs wrap round and form the shape of this, because that's another entry point. Like I say, because this has got that felt stuff on it, you can't put the foam in it like you would normally do on a standard tin roof, because when the condensation runs down, it's then got nowhere to go, and it'll hit your wall plates and rot that out. Right, I don't know if I'm going to be able to clip the camera to this, because if I clip it into the guttering, you're going to be in for a bumpy ride. But I'll have a go and we'll see how we get on. Alright, well, it's going alright. I've had to abandon, like, that's a slot, pre-made slot, but like here and here, and I'll have to do it here. I've had to abandon the slots in favour of drilling my own drill, because you can't get the drill down through this gap. But I don't have to take the guttering off, which is quite handy, because